Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, the 29th Annual National Christian Homeschool Basketball Championships. Scott Staten back with you, along with Jeremy Caldwell. And that was an exciting 16U boys undisputed game. Two teams that had met a rematch down in their regional in the Heartland. And that time, another close one. But it was Noah coming away. That's their second undisputed today, Jeremy. So the Tulsa Noah program really got to love what's going on with their program this week.
Yeah, they got a bright future ahead for those programs because those are both the younger age groups taking home the undisputeds. So looking forward to seeing all them kids in the future. They'll be back on this floor, I'd imagine, on the Fridays to come.
This game's going to be the girls' 16U Undisputed National Championship. It will be the Dallas Thunder, winners of the 8A, the OKC Storm, winners of the 7A. And if this looks familiar, well, that's because last night their 18U team met in the Final Four for the girls, and it was Dallas that advanced past OKC. They will play later tonight for the Undisputed Girls Championship around 7:20 against the Lubbock Titans. And so we'll see if they can continue that run. Dallas won over St. Louis Blue Knights, then the CEC Cougars, and then yesterday defeated Noah to win their gold ball. On the other side, OKC over Team USA, then FBCHA, and then win over West Michigan to make it to this game. Opening tip, girls 16U Undisputed National Championship, and the tip goes to the Thunder. Thunder in the white uniforms. It is the OKC Storm in the gray. The Storm come up with the turnover there. They take the ball away from Verdun and bring it back the other way. She is tied up down in the paint, and that is a turnover then on OKC.
And one side note on this game here for the Lady Thunder, you might recognize a lot of these names because tonight for the Undisputed Girls Championship,
yes,
they're all going to be playing again.
Yeah, they will, so no tired legs for them, hopefully. Sophia Leininger there with the three, gives the three-point lead to her team. And then a steal for Dallas. Dallas comes away with it. 16U team trying to do what the 18U team did last night against OKC. Here's Leininger again. That time it won't go. Rebound, though, comes off to Blake, who kicks it out for another three attempt. It's no good, and on the putback, Verdun is knocked to the floor. She will go to the free throw line. OKC, so far we've seen them just a dominant program. This is their third undisputed championship this morning, and so far unable to come away with any undisputed banners right now.
Yeah, they've taken home a couple runner-up banners. Probably not what they came here for, which is, usually the goal for everybody. I don't think anybody comes here for a runner-up trophy.
Yeah, right. But especially with a program so storied. And, you can't win them all, though. Their teams have been – all of their teams are good, as usual. And, that last game, that could have gone either way. Just some really high level of play.
Yeah, and they had a couple big kids stepped up in that game for the Noah Jaguars by Connor Hislop and the regional MVP of Ingram, stepping up, making big plays, and just a spectacular game by both teams. And the Storm made a furious comeback and got it to within one possession late. Just weren't able to finish.
In this one, the Dallas Thunder come up with another turnover. Their defense coming out and getting a couple of girls every time the ball comes into their area. They've got a couple of girls ready to trap. Into the game now, it will be Harmon for the OKC Storm and also Handsome, which we saw them earlier in the 14U game. Pass inside. Kelly Blake goes up. Her shot is blocked. Crandall comes away with it, bringing it up the court. That was Emily Islas on the rebound. Handsome. Here's Crandall. That three, too strong. Rebound comes off to Verdun. And as you said, we've heard some of these names. Some of these girls have played in the 14U. This is their 16U. And last night we saw some of them in the 18U on both sides.
Yeah, they've played a lot of minutes this week at this tournament, playing in all those age groups.
Verdun the up and under with their left hand. It rolls off into the hands of Crandall, who gets it up the court to Handsome. Feeds down inside to Islas. That ball is knocked away from her. And in the scramble, the Thunder come away with it. Pushing it up the court is Jenna Kendall. Kendall over to the left side to Blake. Blake at the wing has Lowry. Lowry feeds it down low to Verdun. Her shot is contested, and She misses. Islis tipped the ball and into the hands of Crandall. Here comes the Storm the other way.
Yeah, a couple of these girls, a lot of girls from both sides of this game have played each other last night in the 18U.
Yes.
So they're very familiar with each other.
Yep, we've seen them all. Long three behind the NBA line. It's good. Jenna Kendall. 7-0 Dallas. It's going to be a timeout.
It's going to be an official timeout as the player's trying to get her shoe back on the floor there.
Ran right out of it, trying to get back into the play.
But they had to wait for the stoppage in play. They weren't going to stop the Thunder while they had the ball in motion. But once the play stopped and they were able to stop play and let her get her shoe back on the floor. Don't want to have a kid running up and down the floor with no shoe on. Could be a little unsafe, a little slippery.
Yeah. Don't like that. Already sometimes slicking up on these courts. Handsome on the drive, going to be a block on the Thunder.
Yeah, and we mentioned Hanson quite a bit last night in the 18U game, so she's playing major minutes in the 16U and also played last night. So did number 35, I believe, for the Storm.
Yep, we've seen just about all of them right now. Storm struggling to get the points on the board. 4-11. 7-minute quarters for the 16U. That one's good, and Storm finally on the board. Inbounds, Handsome avoided the foul there. Jenna Kendall brings it up. Thunder with a 7-1 lead early.
Yeah, Jenna Kendall's a really good ball handler for the Lady Thunder.
Kelly Blake drives it in. Her shot. Tried to put the touch on it. Then as it popped out of on the rebound, she tried to get it back and looked like she knocked Crandall to the ground. And that's going to be a foul on the Thunder, their second team foul.
Yeah, I thought she was going to use the bank on that little shot there. She tried to shoot a little floater and just rammed out.
Into the game right now is 45. We were checking the roster. That was Grace Meeks, the three-point shooter from the 14U game. And she has 45 on her jersey but 10 on her shorts, so we had to make sure we had the right player. Down at the other end, OKC on the break, no good. There with the rebound, and a putback is number 5. And, boy, she did that in the earlier game. That was Kayla Hill. She will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and I believe that's going to be the second foul on Kelly Blake there for the Lady Thunder.
So the Storm and a bunch of their players are going to do this, but the Storm just played a couple of hours ago. So talk about a quick turnaround. They played in the 14U game. Most of these players, we saw them there, which talk about a promising future. You've got kids playing that are in the 14U, and they're also able to play up in the 16U and in varsity as well. Rebound comes off, and in the scrap for the ball there, it's a jump ball. It will stay down here with OKC. The Storm in gray with the dark numerals and lettering. Dallas Thunder in the white with the blue numerals and lettering. Inbounds to Handsome. Her shot is no good. Mid-ranger won't fall. Still stays 7-2. Dallas with the lead. 3:32 to go here in this first quarter. Girls 16U Undisputed National Championship. Thunder working it around the perimeter. Gonna look for their shot. In for them. Is number 41, which not sure, we don't have that on our roster as well. Here's a drive down the lane, and tried to pass it there was Jenna Kendall, and ball got knocked out of her hands and bounced off of her leg and goes out of bounds.
Going to be a timeout by the Lady Thunder so she can settle the girls down after they're up 7-2. I believe it's going to be a 30-second. So the Lady Thunder here lead early, 7-2 in this Go Ball National Championship game. Got 3:08 left to go in the first quarter. And you got to think that timeout's also probably going to help the Storm try to help make a few adjustments. As Jenna Kendall is a tough point guard.
She is.
She handles the ball well and makes pretty good decisions most of the time with the ball. Very seldom does she make the wrong choice. She can shoot the ball, and she also can distribute and finds her open teammates.
Yeah, she does. And boy, what a luxury it is to have your varsity point guard, also coach his daughter, be able to step down and play in the 16U game because she's young enough to do it.
Right.
Storm pass it in. 3:05 to go. They trail 7-2 in the first quarter here. Break the press that time. Down comes Meeks. Back up to Harmon. Crandall with the three. It's no good. Board comes off to Harmon. Harmon spins on the left block. She is tied up, and that's going to be a jump ball. It'll go the other way now. 7-2. Storm's points coming off of the free throw line. Been unable to get any field goals thus far. 2:40 to go here, first quarter. Girls 16U Undisputed National Championship game. Kendall down the lane, just a little finger roll. Almost got that scoop to go. Rebound off to Crandall. She kicks it ahead. There on the break is Harmon. Puts it up and in. First field goal for the Storm. That cuts the lead to 7-4 now. Kendall bringing it back up the court. Over to her left. The pass to Lowry. Lowry back to Kendall. Working the ball around the left side. Now over in the opposite corner, there's a three-pointer that is no good by Leininger. She's hit one earlier and on the break, but stolen by Abigail Lowry. Lowry up ahead to Crawford. Crawford back to Lowry. She's got Kendall in the corner. Over on the elbow. Pass goes to 41. Back out top to Lowry. Lowry with the spin move, guarded by Harmon. In the corner, Kendall for three. That's strong. Rebound off to Meeks for OKC. She bounces it on ahead, but Kendall right there to pick it off. Good idea. Just need a little more
oomph.
Yeah, oomph on that ball.
More oomph behind it.
That's right.
Because she had her running.
She did.
Would have had a wide open layup. Just wasn't able to get the ball to her.
She did.
Lady Thunder may be content here to, well, I thought she was going to be content to dribble it out, but I believe she's going to get to the free throw line.
Looks like Coach Andrea Kendall has told her point guard to work the ball around, but if you see the lane is clear and you can dribble around your defender, go ahead and make the drive, and that time able to get the foul, and she hits the first free throw. Into the game is Lily Anderson for the Storm. Out comes Meeks.
Yeah, points in a tight national championship basketball game are always good.
Oh, yeah. You got to score at least one if you want to win it. Winona Short in also for the Thunder now. Rebound comes off to the Storm. Here comes Harmon. She will drive to her right, kick it into the corner. Anderson not going to shoot. Drives it towards the bucket. Kicks it back out to Harmon, the three. It is short, but there with the rebound put back, bounces off. That was
going to be a foul call.
Yeah, Kayla Hill got the rebound, but then in the battle to regain control, a foul on the Storm that looked like it was on Handsome. 8-4, still Dallas with the lead. And into the game, number 10, Ezra Hernandez for Dallas. Shows you the importance of this game to these girls because, like you said, they've got a national title, Undisputed, coming up tonight for 18U, but a lot of girls that they get a lot of playing time as the travel by the Thunder player, but they're here playing. They could have rested, and they don't want to rest. They're here to try to win this Undisputed as well. They'd love to go 2 for 2 today.
Yeah, that's looking like that's their goal. That Jenna Kendall there is going to get a little breather here at the end of the first quarter. Probably between quarters. She's gonna need a little breather here in this game, but she's got another game to lead tonight.
Yep. And you got to think that's what Coach Kendall will do is try to substitute when she can, try to win this game, but also in the back of her mind knowing that tonight's 18U girls Undisputed is coming up, the championship game.
And that's a big game and a rematch of the Big South Regional Final between the Dallas Thunder and the Lubbock Lady Titans.
Shot from the wing for three, no good by Crandall for Oklahoma City. Rebound comes off to Verduen. Clock is winding down. They're not going to get a shot off. That's how we'll end things here. After one quarter in the girls 16U Undisputed National Championship, It's the Dallas Thunder with an 8-4 lead over the OKC Storm. Back after this.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula. Real-time pain relief. It's soothing lotion, it's rich in nature's ingredients, and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis. Real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief, it's a knockout.
And welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, NCHBC. This is the girls' 16U Undisputed National Championship. Scott Staten with Jeremy Caldwell, and Dallas with an 8-4 lead as we head into this second frame. Harmon working the ball for the Storm. Will drive to her left, spin, kick it back out top. A step-in three-pointer. That time is no good by Kayla Hill, and the rebound comes off to Lowry for the Thunder. Thunder in the white with the blue numerals and letters. Oklahoma City Storm in the gray with the navy blue numbers and letters with the yellow trim. That ball was, tried to pass it down low, but went over the hands of Verduen, and that is a turnover. Ball will come back to Oklahoma City. Storm trying to do what their two earlier teams could not in their undisputed games, and trying to come away with the win here today. It's not unusual to see the Storm in all these undisputeds. Their program is storied and legendary, but unable so far to get that undisputed banner. There's a steal by the Thunder, bringing it over the line.
Speaking of the Storm, they were able to win their 87th, 88th, and 89th gold ball on Wednesday.
And there's a turnover, a travel. Kelly Blake, feet got ahead of herself there, and she turns the ball over to the Storm. And, yeah, the trophy case is got to be quite large back in Oklahoma City. You might think they do have huge rosters, but they might have enough where each person could have one.
Yeah. And even after this game, we got a Storm game coming up again after this is the boys 14U Undisputed Championship.
OKC and MHEA, which is
could be a preview of the boys 18U Undisputed, depending on how the outcomes of the Final Four of them are tonight.
Going to be exciting to get those. The boys' National Final Four, 6:05 and 8:30, and in between that is sandwich the Undisputed Girls 18U Championship game, and then, of course, tomorrow morning, 11:30 Central Time, will be the boys Undisputed, and that's how we will close out this 29th annual tournament. Shot inside by Crandall. That was a nice move. I'm sorry, that wasn't Crandall. That was for the Storm. 21. Emily Islas. Islas almost got that in there, but it rattled out. Here is Kendall. Shot is strong. Rebound off to Harmon.
And both teams have struggled the last few minutes.
Yeah, definitely not an offensive show here. Handsome goes in. Her shot is taken away by Kendall, but back into the hands of Hill, who gets it to Harmon. Harmon drives. Floater in the lane. Off the board and good. 8-6 now. Lead cut down to 2, and then we've got a whistle. Warning.
Warning on the OKC Storm players. They grabbed the ball after the made basket.
It's so hard not to do, especially when you're on a drive like that and the ball almost like shoots right back at you, just to tap it out of bounds, but you can't do it. it keeps the other team from being able to get straight into their break, and the official caught that and gave the warning. Thunder with the ball, leading by 2. Now, they haven't been on the board for a while. OKC Storm playing some tough man-to-man defense now.
Yeah, the referee was explaining to the Storm coach there what the warning was for, and it's kind of hard to tell which one's the referee.
Yeah, in case you might not be able to see it, but the Storm coaches for this game have these as the block inside by Crandall on the drive by Winona Short for the Thunder. Their coaches wearing striped shirts that looks like they had specially made for this game. Looks like they're printed, but on the front it looks like a tie, but an official black and white stripe. So, yeah, we're not going to be sure who to check with if we have questions about any fouls or anything. And that ball's knocked out of bounds again. Great defensive set here for the Storm. They are just making life miserable right now for the Thunder, who can't seem to get anything going. They've been stuck on 8 now for several minutes. 8-6. Thunder in the lead, but the Storm have been trimming away at that. Here's Verduen. She's going to take it in from the free throw line, off the glass with the left-handed shot.
Yeah, they've been trying to get her the ball in the post, and finally was able to get her to where she could get free and get a bucket.
Pass outside. That is Anderson. Back out top to Harmon. Anderson in the corner. Looked like she was set up for a shot. Instead, she takes a step in. That shot is short. Almost grabbed her own rebound, but instead it was Abigail Lowry. And then a travel as they were being pressured, trying to get the ball over to Short. And OKC applying some pressure there, and we're going to have a timeout. So, Jeremy, if you're a player and you're used to being in an older division, and then you step down, I hate to say step down, but just at least age-wise, into the next division to be able to play, is there going to be, you think, an advantage, or is that a disadvantage because in your mind you kind of let up your intensity if you're a player that kind of plays 2-3 different levels?
Yeah, I think it could go both ways. You know, knowing that you're the starting point guard of the 18U team that's playing for an undisputed national championship, and then you step into a 16U game and say, okay, well, these kids are a little bit younger, you know, probably, which is apparently the same age as she is.
Yeah.
But and it does make it tough mentally, but you just have to be mentally tough and treat every game the same. And you know, you can't look at your opponent and think it's going to be an easy win because they had to do the same thing you did to get here and get to the national championship.
Yep.
So you just got to come in with confidence and, you know, try to play this the way you play and the way your coaches teach you to play, as opposed to, you know, looking at your opponent and then trying to decide how you're going to play with that.
Yeah, and also it seems like, too, they're doing a good job. The coaches are, and that would seem to me to be the thing to say as a coach, is don't you worry about kind of rationing your energy. You just give it what you got. We're going to pull you in and out, so you got some for tonight. Because in the back of their heads, you know they know that game is coming up, and that's the game you really want to try to win if you're playing both 18U and 16U. You want them both, but that 18U one is a prestigious title. Here's the drive. Kendall kicks it over to the wing. Drive, puts up with her right hand, but blocked again by Crandall. She has done a great job on defense. Macy Crandall back the other way. Harmon brings it. Takes it 2 steps into the lane. No good. Gets her own rebound. And a lot of that in a couple different games today where she's able to follow her own shot. Crandall going to drive it all the way in. Up and off the glass. Too strong. Rebound comes off to Leininger. And then a foul as OKC tried to get the ball back. That foul will be their 5th.
Yeah, it looks like Abigail Lowry is banged up a little bit. She's going to come out of the game.
Yeah, some limping there. And
I don't know if she took a knee to the thigh. It didn't look like she rolled an ankle or anything, but she'll get checked out on the sideline.
And then we got a whistle. I believe it has to do with the clock.
I believe they forgot to start the clock.
A reset here. That gives Crandall time to tie her shoe. And the official sees that, and they're waiting. So OKC been stuck on 6 now for a while. It was 8-4, seemed like forever, and then they cut it to 8-6, and then after the Thunder scored, it's been a 10-6 now. And as we said, it's not been an offensive show yet, but we got to believe a lot of that is that both teams are pressuring, playing some really tight defense on each other.
Yeah, it's been a very defensive game, to say the least.
Girls 16U Undisputed National Championship on the drive. Nice little shot by Hill, but
Islis with the rebound and putback and got the foul. But both teams are really just struggling to score right now.
Yeah, they are.
To put the ball in the basket, and you can attest a lot of that to the defense of each team.
Islis gets the bounce off of the back of the rim. It hit the bracket, and the brace rather, and then bounced up to the front and rolled back in. Got the shooter's touch. 10-7 now. OKC going to try to cut it now on the Islis free throw to 2. Nope, that's too strong. Rebound, though, comes down to Hill. She puts it a fading jumper off. It's no good. Rebound comes to Verduen, who kicks it on ahead to Kendall. Kendall going to drive it, now pull it out and set up her offense. Verduen over to the wing, short. Feeds Verduen again. She's at the elbow, spins, puts it up off the glass. Pretty move.
Good footwork there in the post to fake inside and spin left to your strong hand.
Yep.
And we've seen that a lot by the OKC Storm varsity. Daisy LePat
has
done a really good job in perfecting that move as well.
LePat down on the bench, and you got to like that. It's been fun to see how these teams, even when they're not playing, they come to support their other teams as they go for championships. That shot is over everything. Comes down to Kendall, who pushes it ahead to Short. Short on the left perimeter. She's going to give it back to Kendall now. Over in the corner. That's going to be a 3 by Leininger. She'd hit one earlier, but missed on her last couple of shots. Kelly Blake stuck. But when you're stuck, that's a good person to have coming your way as Kendall, the point guard, takes it back. 1:43 to go. 12-7 lead for Dallas. Kendall. Bullet pass inside. Oh, and Verduen shot it too strong, but the official says it's because she was hacked from behind. That's going to be, thought it was on Islis, but instead they call it on Meeks, I believe. It's hard to tell because I think he put up a number 10 because he saw it on her shorts, but her jersey's 45, so.
And there's not a 10 on the floor.
Yeah, so it's got to be her. Meeks with the foul. First free throw is good by Verduen.
Yeah, I believe that was the reason why Verduen had to miss that layup there. I think she was hit on the elbow on the way up on the backside.
Islis comes out, gives him some good minutes. Back in is Handsome. 13-7. Thunder in the lead. That free throw is off to the right side. Handsome pulls it down for Oklahoma City. Over the timeline now. Here comes Harmon. Harmon, the kick. Hill feeds it inside. Handsome had an open look, but she couldn't get it to go, bothered there by the Thunder defense. And then Leininger threw it away. She's trying to get it to Blake, but just threw it over her head, and that's a turnover. Coach Kendall saying, why did we do that? Unforced. Inbounds for Meeks. And, boy, Storm almost returned the favor. Able to chase it down, though, is Hill. Kayla Hill, and gets it back to Meeks. Back to Harmon. Soleil Harmon.
Good defense by the Thunder.
Handsome knocked off of her leg. Boy, that pass was just a little too wide and not able to corral it in.
Yeah, we got a few updates that just came in. The Kansas City East Lions boys 16U are your Division II champions. CHSA Wolverines boys 10U are your silver ball champions. Lake Houston Conquerors are your boys 16U bronze ball champions. And your Watcha Ambassadors are your boys 16U silver ball champions.
Congrats to those teams. Meeks, meanwhile, gets the steal, but then as she falls down at the timeline, Kendall ties her up, and it will give the ball back to the Dallas Thunder. Dallas leading 13-7. They'll have the ball. Kendall motions over Short to bring it out of bounds.
Yeah, as a coach and a mom, knowing you have an 18U national championship tonight makes you a little nervous to see your starting point guard diving on the floor fighting for the ball.
And yet it's not a button you can push on and off. These kids are just aggressive, and they're not probably going to just let off because they've got another game coming up. Here's a drive by Short over in the corner. Verduen. That's some good dribble drive going on here. Kendall almost had it stolen. Great pressure by Harmon. Pass to Verduen. Here's a 3, put up and off the rim by Leininger.
Way to follow your shot.
Yeah, rebound comes off to Blake, who feeds it to Verduen. That's too strong. And here comes Hill for the Storm. On up ahead to Harmon. She drives and shot is short, but she's fouled. She will go to the free throw line and try to cut into the 6-point deficit with 6.7 seconds to go here in the second quarter of the girls' 16U Undisputed national championship game. Well, I got a break here. Congratulations, Jeremy. And you talk about being committed to basketball. He is celebrating his 11th wedding anniversary today, away from his beautiful bride, because she gives him permission and knows how much he loves basketball. And I'm told that he's taking care of things back home, so let's just hope that continues.
And that's your halftime. Dallas Thunder lead 13-8. We'll be back.
Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri, Baptist Bible College Patriot Center. We are At the home of the NCHBC Homeschool National Championships for basketball. Scott Staten with Jeremy Caldwell, and we are at the girls 16U Undisputed National Championship game. We're headed into the second half. It is a 13-8 lead for the Dallas Thunder over the OKC Storm. Not been a great offensive battle by any means, but both teams with some tough defense, some pressure, and as we've mentioned, Dallas Thunder have a number of players on this roster that will be playing later tonight in the girls 18U Undisputed Championship at 7:20 as the Dallas Thunder and the Lubbock Lady Titans will be facing off. And so as we watch this, we're going to keep an eye on those players as well, and they're going to try to come away with a twofer today.
And speaking of the 18U National Championship tonight, that's going to be Dallas Thunder's back-to-back appearances as they failed to MHEA Eagles.
That is right.
Back in 2019.
Which was our last undisputed champions because, of course, last year COVID shut everything down. And very similar to what they're going through at the NCAA tournament. We've had that break where it's been like, what, almost 700 days since we've crowned a champion. Here we go, up and in, Verduen.
Good post move there by Verduen. They tried to feed her early in the first half and just couldn't get it to her, and that's a couple possessions now where she was able to get the ball.
Yeah, she's able to drop in those left-handed shots and got a nice touch. Good footwork, good spin moves. Ball passed around by the Thunder. They lead it 15-8.
Yeah, we were also talking during the break that Dallas Thunder is probably going to try to do whatever they can to run a little bit of clock here in this second half and, you know, not exert too much energy from their players if they don't have to, although they're going to have to use enough energy in order to keep the lead and win the game. But you want to try to win the national championship here in the 16U without burning out your girls and to where they can't play tonight in the 18U.
And they're young. They'll be able to. They bounce back quick. I always say that. I've been in student ministry for decades, and when things happen, you're like, hey, teenagers bounce back quick. They'll be all right.
They'll be all right.
We've seen some really amazing performances this week when you consider the number of games these girls have played even to get to this point. This is Friday, and they've probably been playing in 2-3 different levels since Monday. So number of games starting to pile up there.
Yeah, most of the girls on these two teams for sure played at least 2 games every day.
Leininger can't get the 3 to fall. She hit her first one, but since then she's not been able to connect. Hasn't mattered though. 15-8.
And that's going to be a foul on Islis on the Storm there as she knocked down Verduen on that rebound.
Kendall will bring it in under the basket. Kendall passed it in and then stepped into the corner. That's great inbound play. We saw that last night, I think, a couple of times where the Thunder would pass it in and then just step to the perimeter, and the defender turns around to see where the ball's passed, and then by the time you notice you got a shooter behind you, it's too late. That ball is long. Shot by Anderson comes off to the Thunder. Here comes Kendall. 18-8 now. Lead as large as it's been all day. 10-point lead for Dallas over OKC. Great interior pass. Verduen drives, and they could see that coming. That time it was Islis who was able to set up just below the bucket and draw the charge. Turnover on the Thunder. Into the game comes Handsome for OKC. 18-8. 10-point lead, 4:23 to go here in the third quarter of this girls 16U Undisputed Championship game. Saleh Harmon will bring it up for OKC. Give it over to Hill. Kayla Hill back to Harmon. That ball is tipped, but into the hands of Hill. She's going to drive it up. Wild shot will not go. Rebound came down to the Thunder. It is knocked away, but the sure hands of Kendall come away with it again. And here come the Thunder. Dallas in the white with the blue trim. OKC in the gray with the navy and gold trim. Drive. Looked like they had her stopped, but she looked up and had an opening, but Lowry could not convert. Ball is passed on ahead and saved by Harmon. Harmon's going to drive. She's met by Kendall. Puts up the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Lowry. Lowry on up ahead to Leininger. Leininger trapped there at the timeline. She flips it over. Guess who? Kendall comes back to get it. Here come the Thunder. Kendall, expect her to settle things down here a little bit. Ball was always on the verge of a turnover there, it seemed like, but able to gather it in and reset her offense.
Yeah, that was a good job by Leininger to not cross the half-court line there and get in the coffin corner, knowing where she was on the floor, and get it back to the middle of the floor. You don't see that a lot in this 16U age group.
That pass looked to be over everybody, but Verduen was able to track it down, and then she got tripped and ball went out of bounds off of her hand. Apparently tripped over her own foot, no foul, and the Storm will have an opportunity to cut into that 10-point deficit.
And Verduen's going to get a little breather here because, she's one of the players that's also going to play in tonight's 18U Girls Championship game.
Handsome feeds it down low, beautiful play, and up and in by Crandall, Macy Crandall. That was a great pass to get it to her, and then she turned around and got through the traffic and put it in. Contact there, no call. On the drive, that shot is blocked, and Crandall, nice block there on defense. She scored at the other end and then came down and made a big play on the defensive end. And so it goes off of the Thunder player, and it'll go back to the Storm again. 18-10 now. Chance to cut it even closer. Harmon going to let it roll. The clock doesn't start until she touches it. Third quarter, 2:34 to go. Hanson fakes her shot, back out to Harmon. And that time she got the happy feet, went a little quick. It will be a turnover, and the ball will go to the Thunder. 2:30 to go, an 8-point lead. Kendall will throw it in for her team. Comes back to get it. Ball goes off the foot. Harmon and her to the ground. Kendall has it. Ball knocked down, and going to be a foul called or a timeout? Looks like a timeout.
I believe she gave Thunder a timeout as soon as Kendall dived on the ball.
Yeah.
Dove on the ball.
Yeah. Kendall had it, and it was loose for a while, and the Storm coach wanting an explanation, obviously, because he felt like the ball was still loose, but she did seem to have control. She was on the ground, and then back towards the end, it got loose again, but I think at that point the timeout had been called. It's 18-10, 2:24 to go. If you are the OKC Storm, you've only been able to put 10 points on the board with a little over 9 minutes left in this entire ball game. What do you do to get something started?
Yeah, Sheila Harmon, we seen her yesterday. She can definitely get going early, get penetration. But the one thing the Thunder have going for them is they got size down low when they have Verduen in the game and also Kelly Blake. And that's two big bodies that you got to shoot over, and tall girls too. So when they stand there with their arms stretched out, that's a chore to shoot over. And that's what's given the Storm a little fits so far in this game. And looks like the Storm's going to go to a man defense.
Got to do something to try to create some more extra opportunities for your team. On the inbounds, Kendall was trying to get loose, and Harmon tried to corral her in, but held on to her, and the official sees it, makes a call. Another foul on the Storm. Oh, and there's a defensive lapse. Leininger takes it in, but Hill comes right back and blocks it, and
she was standing out of bounds.
Standing out of bounds when it came down. She had the block. Had the block and came down with it, but then wasn't aware she was right there on the end line. Thunder will throw it in. That corner play again. Kendall, that time it's short. Rebound knocked back in. Kendall again with the mid-ranger. That's no good. Hill with the rebound. Here comes Harmon. We haven't seen Meeks yet, and in the earlier games, she can shoot from outside. Got to think they're going to try to get her involved at some point. Oh, she was right there, too, and then a timeout.
No, I believe that was a technical foul off the bench.
Oh, and a technical. Okay, thought there was a timeout.
One of the players on the bench, the technical for talking to the referees.
That's unfortunate, too, because Meeks was right there, and we saw her in the 14U game. Jeremy, she was deadly from that spot.
Yeah.
At the other end, free throw is made by Kendall.
And I believe it's her sister on the 18U that's deadly from anywhere outside the arc.
Second shot is good, and Kendall makes him pay. Boy, that was costly.
Very costly.
Not only the 2 points that the Thunder have scored, plus an opportunity to score again for them, but you miss the opportunity for Meeks to even take a 3 there.
Right. And you lose that possession.
This could end up being a 7-point turnaround. Kendall over to Leininger. Oh, they had an open player down low, Crawford, but they didn't see her. Ball gets knocked loose. Away come the Storm with the ball, and as Crandall takes it to the other end, she is fouled. Coach says slow it down just a bit there. With 1:40 to go here in the third quarter.
She's seen an open lane. She was trying to get buckets on the board.
Officials have kept really tight control here today of the games, not really allowing a whole lot of leverage for players or coaches to be able to say a whole lot, and so players are going to have to adjust. On the inbounds, took a page out of the Thunder book. That was Macy Crandall with the 3. Now with the pressure, lead down to 7. Thunder puts it on ahead. That's Crawford. She puts it up too strong, but gets her own rebound, turns around to put it back. It is blocked, and then the ball is knocked out of bounds. It will stay at this end, though, I believe. No, it won't. It was off of short.
I believe the other referee is going to change the call. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, that was tough to see from up here. And got a substitution before the inbounds. Verduen comes back in. And what we were talking about, you got to think that's what's coming into play here. Coach was letting Verduen rest some for tonight's game, but then as the game's starting to get a little bit tighter, they're going to bring her in.
Yeah, number 4 coming out, Lucy Crawford. A little upset there that she missed that wide open layup, but you know, she's watched her other teammates. And I used to tell my players when I coached, nobody on the team's ever going to shoot 100%.
Yeah.
But you're not going to shoot any percentage if you don't take any shots.
That's right. Rebound after the miss by Hill comes off. Thunder started a break, but then they're going to slow it down short. She is attacked by Crandall. Ball ends up in the hands of Blake, who kicks it on ahead to short. Off the backboard and good. That was a way to take a broken play and make it count.
Yeah, that was getting a little careless there. Big shot by the Storm, by the Thunder.
Handsome with the drive. Contact, and she draws the foul. We've seen that, boys. She plays in the 18U, the 14U, the 16U. She is not afraid of contact and will take the ball down low and try to get herself to the free throw line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she loves basketball, but she would probably love to take a break after this week.
No joke.
She is taking a beating.
Might want to check into rugby.
Yeah.
I've had some, in my student ministry through the years, some girls rugby players that go to watch their games and think, I don't ever want to get them mad.
Yeah.
Tough.
And that's going to give Kelly Blake a little breather here. 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Thunder still with a lead of 22-14.
Storm hanging around, though. That shot is good. 22-15. Back to 7. See if they can get over that hump. 33 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Girls 16U Undisputed Championship. On up ahead on the break. Pass goes to Hernandez. Hernandez almost lost it. Ball was knocked out of bounds by Islas. It'll stay at this end. Well, she was wide open if she could have pulled that pass down.
Yeah.
Inbound, short, the 3. Shot looked good, but it was long. Hill comes off at the board, and oh, that time.
Great job by Kendall there.
She did.
She knew if she would have threw that pass, that was a turnover straight to Kendall.
Yep.
So it was going to be a turnover either way. So instead of just giving her the ball in the shooting position, she just chose to take the turnover.
Might have been a layup if she hadn't done that. Here's Hernandez again, back out to Kendall.
I believe this is what Coach wanted here for the Thunder to take the last shot.
Kendall throws it in. Boy, she goes to the floor, and a blocking call on Handsome.
Once again, Handsome involved in the contact down there. Tried to draw a charge.
Yeah.
Just wasn't able to get her feet set in time.
Doesn't shy away from the contact, and you got to like that. You got to have some hard-nosed players if you're going to be successful on the court. First shot is up and good by Kendall, 23-15.
So push it back to 9. She knocked this down.
It's good.
4 seconds to go. You got to You got to believe the Thunder are going to try not to foul.
4 seconds to go. Clock has not started. There it goes. Harmon with the three. It's no good. Right there is Islas with the putback, and it's good.
Big bucket right there at the end of the quarter for the Storm.
I believe the score is going to be 24-17. They haven't caught it up yet. It's going to be 24-17. So that's the way we'll end the third quarter with the score. The Dallas Thunder leading the OKC Storm in the girls 16U Undisputed Championship game, 24-17. Back after this. Welcome back to Baptist Bible College, Springfield, Missouri. It is the Dallas Thunder leading OKC Storm in the girls 16U Undisputed National Championship game. Thunder in white, OKC in the gray, and Scott Staten alongside Jeremy Caldwell. Here's the drive by Kendall. She went down hard again. Put back by Verduen, no good. Gets it again and puts it in. These are two players that get a lot of time on the 18U, which will play later tonight, as we've said. But it is not stopping them from giving their all right now to try to bring home this undisputed championship for 16U. Long pass over to Handsome, who puts in the jumper, and we got a timeout with the Storm. 26-17, 6:22 to go. 16U Undisputed National Championship game. So if you're the Storm, you have been able to hit some shots now this half, and every time it gets to 9 or 10, they've been able to get it back down to 7, but that seems to be the threshold they've not been able to cross there, Jeremy. And you got to wonder if they're going to look to maybe open some things up. They're going to keep pressing, I'm sure, and trying to trap. But we haven't, again, seen Meeks shoot any yet, and she can connect from outside. I've also seen Harmon's got a decent shot from the perimeter and maybe try to work it inside out. They've been going down to Isla some and trying to drive in the lanes. Maybe it's time to start looking for some outside shots occasionally to try to cut into this lead.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier that Selah Harmon was going to have to get it going if they try to get back in his game, and she comes down and hits that first bucket right there. So it cuts it to 7. We got 6:22 to go in the fourth. And if you're the Dallas Thunder at this point, you're just trying to keep that clock running and put points on the board as often as possible without trying to force too many shots and too many turnovers.
6:22 to go. Inbounds pass. On up ahead to Verduen. Verduen's pass, though, is behind Leininger, and that goes out of bounds. And this might be the opening that the Storm are looking for.
Yeah, they got a bucket, got a turnover, and now they get a possession again with the possibility to get it to within 5, possibly 4 with Meeks on the floor.
6:14 to go. Ball is tipped and stolen away. Kendall caused that one. It went to the hands of Blake, but Kendall did that. And then on up ahead, great court vision. Verduen, though, can't gather the ball, and when she does, she double dribbles. Turnover on the Thunder.
Yeah, I believe she saw the defender coming out of the corner of her eye, kind of shuffled her feet.
26-19, under 6 to go now. OKC Storm been behind all day long, trying to climb that mountain and get an undisputed championship. Crandall connects from 3. That's her second 3 of the afternoon, and all of a sudden the lead now is down to 4. They were finally able to get past that 7-point mark, and we talked about it. If you can start to get some 3-point shots, and going to be a 10-second call. Hill was hoping for the push-off there, but instead they got the 10-second call, and back-to-back turnovers, Jeremy, and door is starting to jar open here for the Storm to come back in this one.
Yeah, they scored 5 points and got back-to-back turnovers. Crucial possession for the Lady Thunder on defense here to get a stop and get the ball back.
I neglected to mention that Crandall can shoot from outside, but she's also got the outside shot, as we've seen her connect twice today. That time, great defense. Ball is, they dive on the floor, still loose. Verduen goes down. Kendall on the floor, and
they're going to call a foul on the Storm.
Wow, that was tough because that could have gone either way. Everybody diving for the ball, and the concern, you had 2 of your 18U players both on the floor diving for that. Don't want to ever see anybody injured, but when you got more games coming up, gives you a little bit of an extra scare. Some discussion about the fouls, and so as we're watching here, Jeremy, 5:23 to go, and it's back to a 4-point game, a game that really just felt like most of this game that the Dallas Thunder just kind of holding the Storm at arm's length, not really doing anything to put them away completely. And the Storm, they're fighters. They're not going to give up, and they're not going to look up at the scoreboard and say, well, if we're down 10, it's over. And they have cut it back to 4.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're looking at the scorebook on a player or something. I'm not sure what they're looking at right here. We can't hear them on the floor.
Last night we saw the same thing in the girls 18U Final Four when Dallas and OKC played. Dallas was in control, and then, or I'm sorry, it wasn't Dallas. Yeah, Dallas was in control, and then OKC came back all the way and cut it to 4, and that's how the game ended.
And they called a push-off on the Thunder on the inbounds play.
Push off on the Thunder. Again, 3 straight turnovers. They've had 2 straight scores. Can they do 3 and get it below 4 even? Storm working the ball around the perimeter. There's Meeks. She was looking for her shot. Hill back out top to Harmon. Harmon over to Hill. Fakes it. Back to Harmon. Harmon, the 3. That was short. And, boy, if you're the OKC coach, we could see it from up here, Jeremy. Had Harmon faked that shot, she had Meeks wide open on the left wing. 26-22, they don't convert there. Into the game comes Lily Anderson for OKC. Out comes Harmon. Give her a little rest.
And the one thing we haven't seen is we haven't seen Meeks take a shot this game.
Yeah, we haven't. Ball comes into Verduen. Short gets it back. She brings it up with the left hand. On up ahead to Lowry, to Verduen. Back out top to Kendall. Kendall to Verduen. That's a dangerous pass. She dives on the floor to get it, but then when she tries to get it over to Kelly Blake, that is out of bounds. Another turnover. 4 straight turnovers now for Dallas. And, boy, they are kicking that door wide open to give an opportunity to OKC here after leading it by 10. 4:45 to go here. Final quarter of action in the girls 16U Undisputed National Championship.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time in this game for either team.
Pass in the corner. Boy, Crandall went up, and Verduen came out and challenged that shot and partially blocked it. Comes down to the Thunder. Ball over to Blake. She passes it on ahead to Lowry. Lowry up ahead to Short. Short has Verduen down low, but Verduen kicks it out, and they will reset it up top. 4:15 to go. Thunder leading it by 4 and with the ball. And then we got a hand check foul on OKC. That was on Meeks. That'll be the 5th team foul on Oklahoma City. Checking into the game will be Islas, it looks like, for OKC. Out comes Hill. 26-22, 4:11 to go. Dallas Thunder in white, they have the lead. OKC, they've cut a 10-point lead down to 4, and they've got 4 minutes to try to complete that comeback. Short to her left.
The Thunder hadn't scored in a while. You you got to figure they need a bucket on this possession.
Here's Verduen. She's going to drive under the basket. The up and under is good. That's a tough one to block on a tall player like that.
That was a big-time play with the right-handed layup on the reverse.
28-22 now. Hanson falls down, gets it to her teammate who passes it across to Anderson. Anderson falling out of bounds, and she was
fouled.
She was fouled, yes.
Kelly Blake.
Blake trying to get the ball. Looked like she fell on her and kind of forced Anderson out of bounds.
I believe that was 5 fouls on Blake.
And
so she's going to get a little early rest for tonight's game.
Yeah.
Probably not the kind of rest you wanted as a coach.
Nope, she's going to sit down and going to be a timeout. We're going to take a short break. 3:37 to go. It is 28-22. Dallas Thunder leading OKC Storm in the girls 16U Undisputed National Championship game. Back with the last 3:37 after this.
When my body needs relief, I real-time it. I'd like to introduce you to my knockout pain formula. Real-time pain relief. Its soothing lotion is rich in nature's ingredients and helps me manage discomfort day or night. And it smells great too. From muscle strains to soreness to simple back aches and arthritis. Real-time it and knock out your pain. It works for me and it will work for you. Real-time pain relief. It's a knockout.
Welcome back to Springfield, Missouri and Baptist Bible College. We are at the 16U Undisputed Girls National Championship game. With 3:37 to go, it is the Dallas Thunder leading 28-22. Oklahoma City with the ball on their end of the court, trying to cut this lead. They were up by 10, or down by 10 rather, and then cut it down to 4 just a second ago before the Thunder were able to break a scoring drought and put it back up to 6. Here's Meeks, floater, off the back iron. It comes down into the lane, a scramble underneath, going to be a jump ball, and that will stay down at this end. Coming up next, we'll have the boys 14U Undisputed National Championship, the Oklahoma City Storm, and MHEA Eagles out of Memphis. This could be two programs that could meet possibly tomorrow night, depending on how tonight's boys' Final Four games go, which we will be bringing to you live on the live stream later tonight. Oklahoma City, Harmon will throw it in bounds. She's got Islis, drives down the lane, puts it up. She draws the foul. Shot won't go. Foul will be on Leininger. That is the 6th-team foul now on Dallas. So these last 3:22, Storm, one of the things in their favor is they will be shooting free throws because of the bonus. Islis with her first shot, sinks it in. 28-23. Islis has given them some really good minutes. Operating in the perimeter, hitting some jump shots. Second shot. It's good. Lead back down to 4. This is as close as they've been since early on in the game. Kendall up ahead to Lowry. Lowry drives it over the timeline. Up ahead to Leininger, and Leininger back to Kendall. 3:11 to go. 4-point lead for Dallas with the ball. Lowry had an open lane there if she wanted to drive, but looking to take more time off the clock. Short to Verduen. Back up top to Lowry. Lowry with the ball. She feeds it into Verduen at the free throw line, kicks it back out. Leininger, that ball just short, and she loses it and it goes over the timeline, which is an over and back violation. And now with 2:41 to go, Oklahoma City with a chance to bring it down to 2 or even 1.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that ball was tipped there, but referee was right there on it. He didn't think so.
Ball inbounds to Harmon. Harmon to Hill, back to Harmon. Back up top to Harmon. 2:32 to go. Storm trailing by 4. Harmon fakes the 3, takes a step in, misses that shot, but there with the rebound is Lily Anderson. Her putback is no good. Handsome gets the ball underneath, and then a scramble underneath for the ball, and looks like it's going to be a foul.
24 white for the Thunder.
That's going to be, foul on Abigail Lowry. And that is the 6th team foul now. 7th team foul. And they'll be shooting free throws.
Going to be able to see if the Lady Thunder can hold on to this lead here as the Storm are trying to have a furious comeback as they've trailed the whole game. And she airballs the first free throw. Not able to cut into the deficit as it's still a 2-possession ball game.
Yeah, and that's so tough because you don't even get a chance for a rebound on those. If you don't hit the rim, it goes out of bounds and goes straight to the other team. 2:21, Thunder with the inbound. Short with the ball. She's being pressured by Handsome. Ball ricochets off the ground, but into the hands of Kendall. Kendall picks up her dribble. More pressure. Short got it. She gets around and got a 10-second call. Once again, OKC Storm able to force the issue.
Looked like a quick 10-second call there.
Yeah, from what I remember, it was 2:21 when we started. I mean, he was right on it. Ball inbounds, 28-24. Oklahoma City trying to make a comeback that started when they were down by 10, and they have cut it to 4 a couple different times. Right now, the best opportunity to get it below that, but then the ball pass from Meeks is tipped, and then on the effort to get it in, to gather in the ricochet, unable to do so, and the foul on Crandall.
And that's the 16th foul, so the next foul, both teams were shooting 1-1 from here on out.
And now the scoreboard's caught up on the fouls. They had them reversed there. Thunder inbounds at 28-24, 1:53. They lead it. Trapped up against the timeline, and a steal by Meeks. Takes it away from Short. She goes in for the shot. Challenged by Short. Ball comes off again to the Storm. Boy, they're fortunate to come back with the ball there. Meeks, a 3. Oh, in and out. She's hit those in the earlier 14U game, but not this time. Thought she had it. Thunder got to break the press again. Here's Short. Short has a wide open Verduen down low. She will go in. She is fouled by Meeks.
You got to think that Coach Kendall wanted her to take that shot there to extend the lead. I know they're trying to run clock, but you got to take layups and open buckets when you can get them.
Absolutely. And
it should be 1-1.
Yep. It will be. Going to be a substitution here. Hansom's going to come back in. Wow, and Thunder there seemed a little frantic. Ball ended up in the hands of Verduen, and as you said, she probably could have gone up for a shot there, but decided to hesitate and drew the foul. It's the free throw. Maybe she knew she was going to hit these. She seemed pretty confident at the free throw line last time.
Maybe so, but if I'm the coach, I prefer to make a layup and keep the clock running.
Yep, 29-24. Second shot, too strong. Off to Crandall. Crandall brings it up. Her team trailing by 5, 1:24 to go. Girls 16U Undisputed Championship game. Harmon. Ball tipped away by Kendall. Harmon back out top to Crandall. Crandall drives to her left. Stopped inside, but passes it to Handsome. Handsome with a left-handed shot. It is blocked and out of bounds on the Thunder.
1:10 to go. It's getting tight. Got a 5-point deficit for the Lady Storm here. Thunder got to have a defensive possession. As the Thunder trying to hold on to this win. They've led the whole game.
They have. 1:08 to go. Handsome with the drive. That ball is blocked, but it goes in the hands of Hill, who puts it in. Down to 3 now. Closest they've been since the first quarter. 29-26. Thunder had a break there, but they decide to pull it out. 54 seconds to go. Cross-court dangerous pass, and I believe that's out on Verduen. Wow, the one thing you could not do, and you hate to see as a coach, those cross-court lazy passes when they're just up in the air seems like for 20 seconds.
Yeah, Storm are doing a good job of denying Kendall the ball, knowing she's the ball handler of the team.
Yep.
But the other girls, and once again, passed up an opportunity for a wide-open layup by just pulling it back.
29-26, 44 seconds to go. Can the Storm complete the comeback here? They were down by 10. Here's Harmon. Her shot is blocked by Verduen. Boy, she has been a defensive power down low. Couple of blocks in a row. On up ahead, Verduen. She loses it, and going to be a foul. I'm sure the Storm thought she was just falling there, but it was caused.
Yeah, she took a little shot in the back.
Yep.
It wasn't, she didn't just trip over her feet.
Boy, though, still that you'd like to see your guards put their players in a little better position when they make those passes so they don't have to jump or dive for them. But
yeah, and you got to think after having 2 10-second calls on you this quarter that they get a little frantic to get the ball across half court, and that's happened the last few possessions.
1-1 is good. She'll get the bonus shot.
Well, that's a big free throw because it pushes the lead back to 2 possessions.
30-26. Verduen again at the line. Hit 1 out of 2 last time she went. Hit the first one here. Her second shot, it's good. 31-26, 31 seconds to go.
If you're the Storm, you don't want to let them roll the ball up. 30 seconds.
Well, they did, though. Under 30 now. Long pass to the corner. Here comes Harmon. Anderson trying to open up for a 3, and she stepped on the line.
The Lady Storm and the Lady Thunder are doing a really good job of closing out to the three-point shooters with their hand in the air, not just closing out looking at the waist, which you see a lot of kids do nowadays.
Yep.
And that's great defensive scheme by the coach.
They double-teamed Kendall. She couldn't get it and went to the floor, but got the ball to the taller Verduen. Short over the timeline. She has a player over on her left wing. That is Leininger. Leininger back out top to Kendall. Storm struggling to get a foul, and they finally do on Kendall. Kendall's a player you want at the free throw line. She is their point guard for 16U and for 18U, one of them.
Yeah, and this could push it to 3 possessions if she knocked both of these down.
Lead up to 5 with just 10 seconds to go. Boy, the Storm were down 10. They brought it all the way back to 3. That free throw pops out. Still hope. Storm pass it ahead, but then a steal by Kendall, and that should do it. Handsome won't stop, but the clock will. And that's your final. The Dallas Thunder 16U girls, your undisputed national championships winners with the 31-26 win over the OKC Storm. We're going to keep it here and let you see the banner presentation. Congratulations to Dallas. Coming up next, boys 14U undisputed national championship game. And we'll bring that to you, but we'll leave you here to let you watch the championship banner presentation. And back home, Dallas fans, you'll want to see that, and they'll be bringing that with them on their trip back down south. So thanks for joining us, and we'll be back a little bit with the boys 14U in about 15 minutes, and hope you'll be there for that.